What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and colonel and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
Good evening. How are you this evening? Another episode?
Yeah, another episode. We are alive, and I you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Last couple weeks we've given him a hard time, but I am now a huge fan of the one and only JJ Purdom because he is a Pepsi drinker. That's right. We caught him before the show.
I was trying to keep it low-key.
Come on, JJ, pick it up. Show the camera. Show the camera.
I can't. I was trying to keep it low-key.
No.
I was going to be smooth.
I am so happy right now.
And let us just get right into the show.
No, we are not being smooth.
You go having to get me riled up.
As a matter of fact, it is the taste of a new generation. No, is that the choice of a new generation?
Either way, it's good. It's good.
Full transparency, it was free. So they're giving the product away. They're giving the product away. They're giving it away because it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know why they're giving it away? Because it's Pepsi. That's why. Because they can't move it.
But you know how I am.
They're like, here, take this. We need more places to put the Coke because we're getting so much shipments of it. We can't keep it on the shelf.
That's more accurate than you know. That they're having a hard time keeping Coke on the. So they're shoveling the Pepsi products out the door. It is happening. It is a fact. Yeah. But you can't be
drinking a Diet Pepsi in front of me. Not even a regular Pepsi. That's even worse.
Yeah, I will give you that. Diet Pepsi's horrendous. It's so bad. That's what I drink for years, the caffeine-free one, because when I was a kid, my parents were like, you're not allowed to have caffeine. So it was the gold cans. I don't know if it's still gold, but the gold cans are the caffeine-free Diet Pepsi. And it was horrendous.
Mom, there's no caffeine. You can't tell me not to.
But, man,
say what you want, but Garrett just said that he's a huge fan of mine. So that's what I'm going to take out of this whole thing is not the Pepsi placement, but the fact that you're my fan.
Only because of the Pepsi placement, though.
That's crazy. You gained and lost a fan all in the same day. How did you do that?
No, but Adrian, you wear all the JJ shirts that you wear off the air, so he's not buying my merch.
I've already Hulk Hogan ripped all of them. Just
you pulled the Hogan?
Yeah, every one. I put them on just to rip them.
One at a time.
Yep.
Oh, man, that hurts. Playing the homester.
Sorry.
That hurts.
Man.
Maybe next time, think about your drink choice.
Yes,
yeah.
I will.
And think about skipping on the show for 2 freaking weeks. Jeez.
I'm sorry. You guys don't have to beat me up on the air.
Of course. You had this coming.
I kind of did. And I noticed that you guys did do a fair amount of sack beating while I was gone. And I thought, these are 2 of my best friends in the whole world. My podcast brothers.
Yeah, I got a couple good rib punches in there.
I felt them. It was horrible. So go ahead and give me that sweet introduction that I'm craving, that I'm waiting for, that I haven't heard for weeks. And people need to hear.
Properly introduce you.
Like Walter White would say my name.
And also, the heavyweight podcasting champion of the world, JJ Purdom.
That's right. The champ is here. Yeah, I'm back, and I'll tell you what.
Does that really say podcasting champion?
It could. I mean, no, it actually says television
that would have been an excellent bit if you had a belt made that said podcasting champion on it.
Yeah. Now, the light is kind of goofy.
I see it.
Television. But I've been on TV. I've been on television before, and this is, YouTube can be considered somewhat television, kind of.
I'll give you that.
I actually had an adventure. I've been gone for a couple weeks. It's great to be back. I missed you guys tremendously. I missed the listening audience tremendously.
Yeah.
I had to go to Washington State, and apparently not where the government's at. Yeah, and you get weird looks when you ask where the government location stuff is.
There's 2 Washingtons.
Yeah, I do now. And
Wait. You didn't go there looking for the White House, did you?
I might have asked a couple people. They just got.
Yeah.
You know what? We all make mistakes, boys. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, like drinking Pepsi.
Washington D.C. Yeah, as in District of Columbia. I didn't know, but I know now. It's all about location. It's on the other side of the states. But no, I went out to go help my stepmom move to Nebraska. Needless to say, I got stuck in a U-Haul with her little lapdog because it couldn't go on the plane. So I had the dog with me, and she's like, protect it with your life. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to suck. Like the dog, I'm going to have to keep letting the dog go for a walk. And like, so then after 2 days of being on the road, the dog didn't poop. It was just peeing and it wouldn't poop. And I was like, this is not good. Like, why is it not pooping?
Were you feeding it?
Kind of. And then I threw it a couple French fries.
Slim Jims don't count.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much those things stop a dog up. Like they really no. So I actually did feed the dog French fries at one point because it wasn't eating the dog food. It didn't like it. And
you know why it doesn't like it? Because you keep feeding it human food.
No. I fed it one French fry, Adrian.
And it was like, I've tasted the good life. I am never going back.
It's true. And it was a really good French fry.
See?
So basically, it finally started to poop. And I'm out walking the dog and it starts to poop. And I legitimately was like, yeah! And like, I looked over and there was a trucker that was outside of his truck smoking a cigarette. And like looked at me like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, I look like that guy. Then I'm like, yeah, you pooped. Heck yeah. Good girl, good girl. Now I'm like encouraging her, right? Well then, again, not a dog owner, haven't had dogs, okay? The dog poops, and then it had a dingleberry. And it had about a 3-inch dingleberry that was stuck on a hair.
3
hanging
inch?
off of it.
What?
Yeah, it was
That's not
long.
a dingleberry. That's
not a
just
berry.
full-on turd. It's
No,
just like,
this is it was a full turd. It was a full turd, but it was hanging by like some hair that was in its anus, and it was like hanging off of the thing. And then it was like just going and shaking, and I kept seeing the legs of the dog like scrunching to try to get it off, and it wasn't going off. And I waited.
stop.
It was like 3 or 4 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna wipe this dog's butt. Like, look, I'm all about like being a servant and like helping and being cool, but I'm not wiping a dog's butt. It's not gonna happen. So I was like, you better figure that out. And the dog just kept squeezing and it wouldn't drop off. And then finally, you didn't think you were listening to Super Gamer Boys and talking about dog crap, right?
I'm captivated on how you let this dog suffer, but go ahead.
Suffer, I wouldn't say suffer. Finally,
You could have stopped it like 5 minutes ago.
It was like 3 minutes.
You could have put a doggy bag over your hand.
No,
went over
that's
there.
a bridge too far. No, good sir. No,
I just imagined you.
Done.
I imagine you leaning over with the doggy bag on your hand, getting ready to pinch his turd, and you look over, and that trucker's still there, just
Oh, I'm sure.
he's shaking his head, smoking his cigarette. Like, the hell's that guy
boy
doing
must
over
be
there?
from California.
Going to hell, boy.
Yeah. Ain't that about the damnedest thing you'd ever seen? So no, finally the dog got the bright idea to put its paws in front of it onto the ground and dropped its tail in, and then using its paws dragged its butt along the ground.
See, you got road rash too.
I was gonna say, so now it's got smeared turd and dirt.
No, it looked clean. It was good. So we're
man.
fine. It came off, but yeah. So the Great Poop Adventure in not Washington D.C. I think that might have been Wyoming. I'm not really sure where that happened. Okay. I went through Idaho, Montana. I saw a lot of people that made me look like the pigment of my skin is not as bright and white as it actually is. Like, to tell you the truth, I have never seen so many white people in my life. When I ended up going and having the best Mexican food of my life, and I was like listening to mariachi music in the thing, I hadn't heard Mexican music in a long time, and I miss California in some ways. I was literally in the store going, my God, I miss mariachi music. And I cried a little bit missing that music.
You were saying you hadn't been around this many white people in Washington?
No. When I went through like Wyoming and all that stuff, like
that's White People Central.
No, it was super.
Absolutely.
It was
that's no people central. When we drove through Wyoming, when we moved from Wisconsin,
also fair point.
I didn't see a single car for about 8 hours as we drove through Wyoming. And then they're like, you drive into the state, says welcome to Wyoming, and there's like a fence and a bunch of cows, and that fence goes for about 200 miles, and then the fence ends and you leave the state. That was it. It was just all cows through Wyoming.
It's just one guy using the state as farmland.
Giant pasture. That's Wyoming. Wyoming. I hate it. That was
he
the
doesn't
worst
even
part
live
of the
in
drive.
Wyoming. It's just his farm space.
That was
And
the worst
there's no
part.
gas
Wyoming.
stations.
The worst part
Nobody
of the
lives
drive.
there. I just use it for
Yeah,
real
that whole
estate.
thing is you could totally run out of gas over there because
Yeah.
the gas stations. It's like
100%.
I would just every time I saw a gas station stop and get fuel.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, I do not
you
want to run
have
out.
to.
It's huge.
That was the most terrifying thing is seeing that sign like no gas for like 100 and something miles. You're like, what? Like, is that possible? You can go 100 miles without seeing any building? Like no gas station or nothing?
Oh, also in Montana, I saw a kid crapping backwards into a urinal.
I mean,
Could
that's
have been in a movie. Could have been in a movie. It was
that sounds
it
about
was a-
Wyoming.
And I just was like, okay, I've seen it all. That's it. I've seen it all.
Man.
And there was a stall open. So I don't know if the guy in the stall had like walked out, saw the kid couldn't pinch it off and then go into the stall. So
That's horrible.
yeah, it was an adventure.
Why would he? Whatever. I'm not gonna think about that too hard.
Hey, if it's an emergency, like
I understand if it's an emergency, but there's other things you could do in an emergency. You could go outside. You can go around the back of whatever bathroom this is. You don't have to go in the urinal.
yeah, I've never seen it before. So but
You
now
don't
I
have to make your own urinal cake. You don't have to do that.
yeah, definitely.
Or
That's
just
the
wait
thing.
like the 5 minutes for the guy to come out of the stall.
No,
right?
Garrett.
Like,
Sometimes when you gotta
No,
go,
no.
you gotta go.
There's a
I don't think you've ever been in
waiting.
that situation where it's that bad, but
No.
look, if you gotta figure it out, you gotta figure it out. All right.
all right, I'll take your word for it.
Pray you
Now, with all
never
that-
get in that situation.
Now Garrett's all eating fiber and whatever, so he's probably
That would put him more in that situation.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yeah, I guess so.
You guys tired of talking about video games? Well, I
Yeah.
got poop stories for days, boys.
Oh, we know. No, let's get into it here. Today, we're going to be talking about Activision Blizzard's big problem, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet breaking the rules, and what is happening with Beyond Good and Evil 2. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash and Eddie Martin, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, and Kajoma. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, you can head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, support us over there just for $1 a month. That gets you episodes early and ad-free, like this show, as well as Adrian's Super Gamer Book Club over there. And boy, we had a fun one this last month. Go check it out. Star Wars Republic Commando. Just Adrian and I.
You're being pretty nice.
Just, we were very, very nice, very kind, very high opinions of this classic game. Yeah, if you can't tell, it was an interesting episode that you gotta go listen to. It was a good one. But if you're on the fence about supporting us, you want to check out just what we're all about, what that show is all about, go over to any of your podcast feeds or our YouTube channel and just search for Super Gamer Book Club. You'll find it there. The free episode this month was Super Mario World, featuring Patrick and Mark from Nintendo Cartridge Society. That episode was a blast to record. Those guys are fantastic. So fun to talk with. And freaking Patrick over there beating all, 90-something levels. He beat all the main levels and all the hidden levels.
He 100%ed that game.
Yeah, he 100%ed Super Mario World. I didn't even know there was hidden levels in the game until he's like, yeah, I beat all the main ones and all the hidden ones. I'm like, you're crazy, dude. So go listen to that episode. It's up for free. At the end of this month, we are going to be recording the book club is going to be Amori, and it's going to be featuring special guest Rada Rat from twitch.tv/Rada Rat. So look forward to that one. Last time she was on was for the Little Nightmares 1 and 2 episode, and that was very
And
fun
JJ
one.
was there.
JJ
And,
was
dude,
there.
I am the biggest fan of Rada Rat. She is so great. Her Twitch channel is fantastic. You could, if you guys haven't already, and I'm talking to our audience, if you guys haven't already, she's a great follow on Twitch. She's got some great content, and yeah, she really knows her stuff about Little Nightmares.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be fun going over Amori. It's on all game consoles. It's on Game Pass. So go check it out. Play long, and then you can listen to the episode at the end of the month with us. But cool. We'll talk more about our Patreon later. Let's give a quick shout out here to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on the show. We very much appreciate them. Please go support them, show them some love on Spotify and Apple Music, and wherever you can get their album on Bandcamp. I know for sure it's on that. Links in the description below are for the Spotify, so go listen to them and show them some love. All right, that is it for this.
Kajoma. More like Kanoma. More like Kano money.
Are you backing on Kajoma because he's a sponsor now? Oh man, is that who we are now? We just make fun of people for not having money.
I was trying to think of a name. I was trying to think of a new name. I was like, Kajoma, Kanoma.
Kajoma, more like poor homeless guy. Am I right? Jeez.
Give me a minute. I'll think of something. All right. Good grief.
It's good. Let's move on with the show. And JJ, JJ, this is your 2 weeks ago was your week for the bit. So do you have something for us?
I do.
You do. Oh, okay. All right.
You actually should. You know, as a matter of fact, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I have a cousin in Arkansas that has a jingle company. And so I reached out to him and I told him what it was that we had going on here with the Super Gamer Boys. And of course, he's already a fan. He's like, of course, I listen to you guys already. And so I had him put something together, and I think you'll like it quite a bit. Now, keep in mind, he can only see out of one eye, and he is married to another one of my cousins. So his IQ isn't the brightest.
I mean, you can have two cousins that aren't related to each other. So I mean,
no, they're pretty much related to each other. So
okay.
Keep in mind that with this jingle that he wrote, he hasn't made any money. This is kind of like he actually lives in his basement of his mom and dad's house. Well, it's his grandparents' basement. He didn't move out of the house, so it's rough. It's just a little rough. If you want to go ahead and just check it out.
Okay.
Now, your cousin's recording studio, you said it was in the bottom of the house, like kind of the bottom floor. Did he have pretty good sound isolation? Did it maybe
my understanding
some black soundproofing material?
Oh, you mean like mine?
Kind of like the one you use, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then, kind of like the location you're in the bottom of the house, a little bit.
Well, I mean, technically, this is a lower living space, is what this is called.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, it's not technically a basement if you were to. Well, I don't know what the definition would be, but it's.
Something at the base.
It kind of looks like a
base apartment.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a basement, to be honest. Yeah.
All right. Well,
just funny coinkydink is all.
Yeah, quite interesting. But we have a little jingle here, so let's go ahead and take a listen to it. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it or not, but let's see what happens here.
This is the jingle of mail time. This is the jingle of mail time. It took us a long time to write this. Now it's time for the mail.
All right, there you have it. I like the little bit in there. I wish I had more time to write this.
Oh, what? No, I couldn't. I couldn't actually hear it on the.
Okay.
I couldn't hear it on the. But I'm sure it was melodically good.
Yeah.
I
mean, as far as the pitch and the key, like you nailed it. It was like you sound like Alicia Keys.
He nailed
it. Your cousin nailed it. Sound like Alicia Keys on there or something. But it's interesting that he would comment on the fact.
Can you call your cousin? I believe we just received a lawsuit from the people that wrote "Let's All Go to the Lobby."
Was it to that same tune?
Huh.
It just came in.
Yeah, I see here on Twitch we just got a DMCA strike live on air.
Oh,
so
that's not good.
They're shutting
What's
down
going
our
on with your
channel
cousin?
now.
I thought you said he was a reputable guy.
Thought he was legit, dude. Thought he was legit.
Is it copyrighted though? I mean, is it like that's not free?
I mean, I don't know why they would use it at a theater if it wasn't copyrighted. You know what? I can look it up and see if there's a copyright on that.
I would think it's like free use. It's like where it's
right. Like it's
in the public domain. It's been out there for so long that you can.
Well, let's hope so, or else we're gonna be looking to your cousin to pay for this lawsuit that's going on now.
Yeah. Right, and I'll totally give you guys his information, and we just because if he's done something illegal, we want to make sure the proper authorities are alerted, and that we're able to, have justice be served.
Yeah, man. I hope your cousin has a lot of money, and or a very good lawyer. So.
Do you forget that he lives in his grandparents' basement?
Oh, right.
And he's married to his cousin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. I would think not.
This strangely sounds a lot like your situation, but whatever.
Hey, I don't live with my grandparents.
I mean.
Lower living dwelling. This is not.
Yes. Okay. I believe you.
All
this
right.
is a sound booth studio.
Yeah, right. It's a studio. It's a studio. Right. A studio. Hey. Quotes.
I got the soundboard. Come on.
Let's get into these questions. This first question comes from Sir Prince-Lot, and he asks, Gen Con is currently going on here in Indy this weekend. It's a board game convention. What's a board game from your childhood that you remember loving? We had one called Frady Cats that was hilarious. I just want to say he posted a picture of Frady Cats, and that unlocked a lost memory of mine. I saw a picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that game. It's such a blast. It's like a little kid's game. It's nothing too serious, but man, it was so much fun. Yeah, what were some of your guys' favorite board games, card games, just games from your childhood that stand out to you?
Aggravation was for us. So it's like Sorry, I'm Sorry. It's a marble game, and my grandfather made these boards by hand, and
the one who lives upstairs.
The same one, yeah. It's true. It's the same guy. And so, but he made some pretty great stuff. And so we used to play this marble game with my grandmother, and it was the only time that she would ever say anything remotely like a curse when you would land on her marble and get her out. She would just be like, oh, dagnabbit! And it would be the closest that she'd ever come to cursing, And so, yeah, I have great memories of playing after church on Sundays with my grandma and my mom and dad and my little brother and stuff like that. So
it's awesome. For me, I mean, we were a Risk family. Well, my dad didn't like board games, and my mom said she liked board games, but I feel like we rarely played them. But with my cousins and my brother, we all get together. Loved Risk. We had the classic, the old one, and then I remember a few years later, when years later when Lord of the Rings came out, we had Lord of the Rings Risk, all the different versions. So yeah, that's probably my big one. Loved Risk to death. Fantastic game. And we would play games that would last literal days. We would start it on a Friday night.
Monopoly?
Yeah. We go there on a Friday night, start a game, and it would go till Sunday. Just people just holding on for dear life, with just a handful of armies left, to be just give up. No, I'll never give up. I'll hang on to the bitter end. And that's what it would be, just all weekend playing this Risk game with my cousins. So much fun. So yeah, that's my probably favorite childhood game.
I would say mine is definitely, we had a lot of Jenga going on. I remember a lot of Jenga going on around the house. A lot of Operation. That was a really big one.
Yeah, so good.
I was telling you guys, my family is very competitive when it comes to Operation. My mom is very good at Operation. I don't know how she has such absurdly still hands, but she does. And then, of course, pretty much every family gathering, you had to break out the Uno. That's it goes without saying. It's like a rite of passage. You have to play Uno. And if it doesn't end up with somebody being legitimately mad at somebody else, it is not a good game of Uno.
So I actually 3 weeks ago bought a couple of packs of Uno cards and started teaching my youngest daughter how to play Uno. And she loves it. And it's I unleashed a monster. Now she always wants to play Uno. So that game is still fun, 20 years later.
It'll be fun till the end of time.
Yeah, it's great. Super fun.
Now, a card game that my family always played, anytime there's a New Year's Eve party, birthday party, whatever it was.
Strip poker. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Thought it was weird myself, honestly.
Well, remember he said you can have two cousins that don't have to be cousins. So
I remember him saying that very clearly, Adrian, very clearly.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, no, but somehow I managed, like, in my now 20, how many years? About 28 years. I don't know how old I am. 28 years of life. I still have not learned how to play this game. Like, I somehow made it without learning it, but it was like the game of the family was euchre. Did you guys ever heard of euchre before?
No.
Not on your life. What is
it's
that?
like it's a card game. You play, like, I think you use like I don't know if you use one or two decks, but it's like I don't even know half of how to even play it, but it had something to do with like making tricks. Like, I think essentially like making different hands, sets, runs, stuff like that. But I don't know. It's called euchre. I was curious if you guys ever heard of it, because I don't know how to play it, and somehow I got away with not ever learning how to play it. Like, but yeah, that
you
was.
as well as it seems like the majority of the rest of the population.
All right, cool. Wow.
So I'm remembering.
If anyone out there has ever heard of euchre, like, let me know.
We're gonna have like two people in the Discord be like, "Oh my God, how do you not know about euchre?"
So funny that you say that. There's a game that we used to play with dice that I remember my great grandparents playing, and we played all the time when I was growing up. But I stopped playing it like around 10. It's called Zonk. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's called Zonk, and I don't remember much about it, but it's just one of those games that, like, I played until I was like 10 years old, all the time with my great grandparents, and we loved it. It was like a family game, and we never carried it home with us. We never ended up playing it at home as a family. It was like that was great grandma's game. You know, they played there with her. Funny. While my great grandparents would be sucking down on chaw and like spitting in the cups at tobacco juice and stuff like that. Then wanting kisses with tobacco juice coming down their lips. And yeah, it's kind of
nasty. You was mentioning a dice game, just totally like reminded me. After Pirates of the Caribbean 2 came out, this game is older than that, obviously, but after Pirates of the Caribbean 2 came out, there's a game they play in the movie called Pirates Dice. And they made like an official like Pirates of the Caribbean 2 licensed version of this Liar's. Originally the game was just called Liar's Dice, but in the movie they call it Pirates Dice. And I remember we used to play that all the time. And obviously the licensed version came with like these 4 cups, and they're like all like covered in barnacles and stuff, like Davy Jones like themed, and like these cool like looking dice. But essentially it's just lying. It's a game of lying. Be like, how many dice? Like you know what dice you have, and you gotta like trick all the other people, and I don't know, if you lose a round you lose a dice. That was a fascinating game. So much fun. I don't even know if they make that Pirates of the Caribbean 2 licensed version anymore, but I know you can just buy regular
You're the
cups
last
and
person
dice
who has them.
Probably. Oh man, it's such a fun game.
I love how you were like, like so long ago, like, back in like 2016.
Pirates of the Caribbean 2 came out way before 2016. That was like early 2000s, wasn't it?
You sound like a baby when you do that. Like, by that point, by the time that movie came out, I already had like 4 kids or whatever, how many kids I got.
Yeah, it's because you're like 90, dude.
Something like that.
Wow. All right. This next question comes to us from Eddie Martin. He writes, the return of Eddie Martin. It's been a while since we got a question from him, so it's nice to have him back. Thanks for the question.
Good to see her. Good to hear him doing well.
Yeah, the Super Gamer Boys crew has been selected to be video game ambassadors to the Pope. What game would you give the Pope to play? You can only pick one.
How about Liar's Dice?
Liar's Dice.
No way. The Pope lying?
Never.
Not gonna go over well.
Never.
I said Doom before the show started.
Yeah, and I feel like that's
a great choice.
That's like the perfect game.
It really is strong.
In that same vein, like The Binding of Isaac.
No. Oh. I can see him now. So this is how twisted humanity can get. Oh no. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And along that same vein, I was thinking Visage. Because it's a psychological thing. Yeah. Why not?
At least in mine, you're doing something to confront the evil menace.
No, I say like let's drive him nuts. Like, where he starts hearing the voices even after he turns the game off.
If there's any Vatican spies listening, I'm not the one who picked these titles. Okay, I'm not the one trying. I'm trying to.
It's
fine.
solely on the shoulders of Garrett Morlang.
I'll change mine. Donkey Kong Country. How about that? There you go.
That's not
there you
bad.
go.
That's pretty simple. I think you could get the hang of that.
I think you get that. I mean, who doesn't like DK? I mean, you can't not love DK.
Do you think the Pope has ever played like Super Mario Brothers, or something like that, or has he just been kept away from?
He wasn't the Pope all his life.
Yeah, he wasn't
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, do they take somebody who's like lived a crazy, like, I haven't lived a normal life? I mean, he's from Italy, right? So he's not like rocking and Kentucky.
But you don't want
and then all of a sudden
somebody.
becoming the Pope.
Is he? What is he? Is I know he.
You don't want,
but
you don't want somebody who's lived in a bubble all their life to be the Pope because they can't relate to any of the regular people's struggles and problems and stuff like that.
Who's the current Pope? That's what I need to know.
It's Pope John Paul the something or other. No?
Pope Francis.
John Paul was the last Pope, I think.
Yeah, Pope John Paul was the last one.
Pope Francis. Where is he from? He's actually from Argentina.
That's what I said. I don't know. You play the tape back.
No, you said Italy, but you were correct. Like, obviously the Vatican is in Italy, but I was like, I wonder if, like, me not knowing anything about Catholicism, I was like, are they actually all just Italian dudes, or do they come from other places? Apparently they come from other places. This guy's from Argentina. I have no idea.
There may have been a Pope right after John Paul, before him, that was the first Italian born. I don't remember, but I know that there was, I think, John Paul, and then there was one that was Pope for a couple of years.
I thought you just had to be Catholic to contend to be the Pope. Isn't that a thing?
No, it's like you have to have gone through like all the different ranks, and it's kind of like Scientology.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You have to like buy in, and like, so you got to be in there for a little while, and then like eventually they give you like a plastic face mask, and like you get to work your way up and stuff like that. I've seen the TikTok videos.
No, but I'm saying anybody could be the Pope potentially. That practices Catholicism and works their way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right. Correct.
So they don't necessarily have to be.
So JJ, you could be the Pope one day.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I want you guys to picture.
I couldn't even finish that
I'm
sentence.
not picturing anything. I'm not picturing that reality
dude,
at all.
Okay, in a world gone wild, okay, kind of like a King Ralph situation, where like King Ralph in the '90s was that great movie where what's his name from John Goodman ends up becoming the King of England or whatever. So I can end up doing something like that, where like I become the Pope. That would be a great movie. If we have any
the
artists,
day I wake up in whatever reality or alternate timeline I wake up and you're the Pope, I know it's all over.
Well, just imagine me with like all the Pope regalia with the hat and all that gimmick, and then like me being like, like I'd be like,
I turn on the TV and I'm looking through world events, and then it goes Pope JJ Purdom. Oh,
yeah, I'd be doing finger guns at people. Pew 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 pew.
Boy.
Oh man. Yogurt Archangel in the chat says JP2 was the first non-Italian Pope in many, many years. JJ is spreading lies. So come on, get your facts straight.
I make them up most of the time.
I know, that's the problem. Like, you're just BSing it anyway.
Don't trust me.
You can't trust anything JJ says. That's the first mistake you made, Yogurt Archangel. All right, this last question comes to us from Kajoma. I only laugh because we kind of talked about this before the show. We always go over all the questions before the show real quick. What clothing brands do y'all like? Are y'all Nike fans, Adidas, New Balance? What are you rocking? And I love how JJ's response.
I was the first one to say, like, does he not realize that I'm like a poor white trash dude who like buys my t-shirts 3 at a time at Walmart?
Right.
You know, like,
the big W, baby. The big W.
Like and since I got to Nebraska, I've been buying a whole lot of sweatpants lately, dude. Because I've George Costanza in it, just don't even care anymore. So as far as Adidas and all that kind of, I buy like the cheap sandals, and like they're made from tires in Mexico. Like that's the kind of stuff I just go for the cheap. That's what I do.
I get you. Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I buy the 4 or 5 pack of the Hanes black t-shirts. I have a few pairs of shorts, a few pairs of I rarely ever wear like regular clothes anymore because my 9 to 5 requires me to wear a uniform. So when I'm home, from work, I just change into whatever shorts and t-shirt I have here. I don't really have too many. I have like a pair of nice clothes if I have to go to something, some dress up. But other than that, I don't have a wardrobe for what? I don't go anywhere. I go to work and I come home.
So you go on a date. What do you wear? You wear church clothes?
My nice
or
clothes.
Okay.
No, not my church clothes. I mean, I have nicer clothes, but I don't have like an entire wardrobe per se. Like I'm not going out to
you don't have a bunch of like outfits,
the outlets.
So you're not going to it. You're not going to a date with like that pair of sweatpants that like the elastics kind of like jacked up on them and like kind of falling down. You got to keep hitching your pants back up.
No.
Okay, all right.
I can make something up. I can make something work. I have a few button ups and whatnot. But I'm just saying, on the regular, I don't really have clothes for stuff like that. Look, if I'm going somewhere and somebody wanted me to be there, they'll be happy to see me there in my t-shirt and shorts, or just as much as if I was there in a 3-piece suit. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So.
And Kajoma, in case you were wondering, Garrett doesn't even wear pants. So like, you know what I mean?
No pants.
Seriously.
Check it out.
He doesn't.
Ready?
He's pantsless.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am wearing
You ruined the bit.
I
You were
pants.
supposed to come in.
Look, Garrett, you suck so bad.
The string was
No,
stuck.
we would've got
The
pulled
string
off.
was stuck.
We would have got pulled off
literally-
YouTube. He did it. He made a good call.
I did it for the
channel.
channel. I did it to save the channel.
I told him for the bit, you need to take the shorts all the way off.
All right.
Like just
All
have
right.
the shorts off. I'm not saying like full dookie doo hanging out or nothing, but like just wearing your tighty whities like you
There you
normally do. There you go. There you go.
That'll
that
work.
works.
Woo! Wow, it's
Even
breezy in
don't
here.
move.
It's breezy in here.
it's just really cold in here, by the way. It's really
It's
really cold
I
in San
promise.
Diego.
No, it's been freaking hot in San Diego. For me, I'm the same. I just wear I work from home, so I wear sweatpants or gym shorts to work. Really, the only thing that I wear consistently, and Sir Princelot joked about it on the Discord, was Vardigan, which my good buddy works at the Vardigan, and I'm literally wearing it right now. Like all my t-shirts are Vardigan pretty much, and I wanted to give a shout out. We actually have a coupon code. If you buy stuff from Vardigan, SGB15, you get 15% off. I totally forgot about it until I was
How
like,
dare you? Well, some
man.
friend.
So there we go. Go buy Vardigan shirts. That's like all I wear. If you watch any of our shows, that's probably what I'm wearing is Vardigan. So use our code, get 15% off. But other than that, no, I'm wearing Target shorts and the Costco pack of socks.
Yep.
That's
Call
what
it
I
a
wear.
day.
Can I put my pants back on now?
I mean, it sounded like you were enjoying the breeze. It
No.
is hot in San Diego.
It's just uncomfortable being so exposed. Like, what happens if I move a little bit and then the camera
Nobody's
sees
coming
something?
into that
No.
shed, man. You're all right.
Look at
Not with all those spiders you got
the
over
bottom
there,
of the
right?
camera. The
Oh
bottom
yeah,
of
the
the
spiders
camera.
are like, oh look at all that leg.
The
Right?
bottom of the camera's here and just a couple inches, and that's everything. So I've had
A couple of inches is everything, Garrett. Don't share that. That's not something to be
Don't put
proud
yourself
of.
down like
Come
that,
on,
man.
buddy.
Come on, bro.
It's not about the size. It's it's about how
What you
use
do with it.
Garrett. Yeah.
All right. That's it for the questions this week. Now it's time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy news.
There we go. Finally, he's back.
I don't have to keep carrying it anymore.
All right, this first news story comes to us from IGN, written by Ryan Dinsdale. Activision Blizzard loses millions of players, but adds 25% more developers year on year. Call of Duty and Overwatch publisher Activision Blizzard has lost millions of players compared to this time last year, but despite that decrease, has grown its pool of developers by 25%. During its latest earnings results, Activision Blizzard revealed that its monthly active users, categorized as anyone who accessed one of its games in that time frame, fell from 372 million at the end of March 2022 to 361 million at the end of June. Oh wow, so I thought it was over the last year. That's just over the last few months. That's crazy.
Yeah, every quarter they hire that many.
So yeah, they're dropping players like crazy. This drop continues the publisher's downward trend as the number of monthly active users on June 30th last year was 408 million and has fallen relatively steadily ever since. There are some extenuating circumstances at work. Activision Blizzard has had a notably quiet release schedule recently, partly down to game delays and a natural reduction in players after COVID lockdowns. The lowering number of players hasn't deterred Activision Blizzard from investing in its development teams, however, as the report also states that this has grown considerably since June last year. And that's kind of the rest of the article is talking about their hiring, but it just seems so bizarre. Like, I understand the drop in players, and they even say it, like, obviously through COVID, a lot of people aren't working, a lot of people are playing games. Now people are going back to work, getting back to normal lives, as of like 2021 last year. But the fact that they're like, last year they also had a huge wave of firings. They like fired like, I remember we talked about it. It was like hundreds of people, right?
Hundreds of people.
Dropped tons of people, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, now's a good time to hire a bunch of people back on." Like, I don't understand that. Like, hey, we're losing players, which means they're losing money, and so their solution last year was like, we got to ditch people, and now all of a sudden they're like, no, we got to hire people. It's like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand.
So it may be a viable argument as far as there were more people that were home through COVID, through the entire pandemic, and now those people are now going back to work. There was a lot of people that were staying home and just sheltering in place, and then later working from home and maybe having more, hey, I'm not on the road for 3 hours a day, so I'm having that ample time to play my video games. But what about the numbers before that? Were they low where they're at now? No, I think that people are absolutely getting away from Activision Blizzard. First of all, they haven't been putting out anything great.
Yeah.
And
they haven't done anything other than a Call of Duty. You know?
No, and there's all the scandals and everything that's gone with them lately. I'm not surprised, and I think that like them bringing in people, that's the surprising story. Is 25% more when they just hatcheted all those people. What was it, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, so like about a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, to turn around and then go, hey, we're in this crazy hiring, spree while all of our fan base is jumping off and not really sticking around. I mean, the numbers don't really add up. There's some goofy stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it must be like a tax break thing. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe if you have so many employees at one time, then you get a tax break. And then once they get the break, they get rid of the next batch. And then once the deadline comes up again, we got to hire some more,
Yeah, maybe.
That's why Adrian always ends up posing like the really cool, like business aspect ideas. Like, and you have to think of it as a business, but you bring that up constantly, the business oriented thought where it's like, yeah, they're going to get a tax break. That does make a lot of sense. If they're doing something like that, that's kind of like the most obvious. Oh yeah, that would be something you'd want to do. If you're wanting to make a little bit of money when you're starting to go to do your taxes. Hey, we hired a whole lot of people, so then we're paying insurance and workers' comp, and then you'll get a lot of breaks from things.
We're an employer.
Yeah,
look,
of course, of course.
Give us some subsidies.
We'll cut them off in a year, but don't even worry about it. You know what I mean?
You already gave us the breaks now. Sorry, not taking those back.
Don't be surprised when that kind of stuff comes, and then you'll go, man, Adrian was right all along.
Adrian was right.
Never trust Activision.
Like, yeah, and I mean, that's what I was just gonna say. Is like, I don't know. I was gonna say in a positive light, like maybe they are bringing people on so they can actually put out a game like on time, because like Diablo 4 is supposed to be coming out soon, so maybe they are hiring people on to get that out. But now that you've mentioned that, Adrian, is like, no, that's probably it. It probably is more facetious than just like actually making a game, like to be completely honest. So.
Who's currently heading them up? Because the guy who was is gone. He's out. Right?
It's still Bobby. No,
he's still.
He's not leaving until the deal is complete.
Yeah, Xbox does not own them yet. It's still like they're still the FCC is doing all like the interviews with other companies and stuff like that to see if it's going through. Which that was actually another news story that came out last week. We started some of the other companies' comments started coming out to the public. And it's kind of interesting. Some other companies' thoughts on the Xbox acquiring Activision Blizzard, but so no, he's still there until that. If that deal goes through, then Xbox claims they're going to get rid of him. Phil Spencer says he'll get rid of him.
He'll be gone. But is there anybody off the top of your head that you can see Xbox Spencer and the rest of the Xbox team, the Microsoft team, putting in place to run Activision Blizzard, or are they just going to get sucked in?
Didn't they say? Well, I mean, if they become an Xbox studio, technically Phil Spencer would become.
Phil
the
would
boss,
be
right?
over.
Yeah, he would be
overall. Yeah,
yeah, because he's.
But
like
I feel like he's got enough on his plate already.
No, there would need to be somebody there in that place. I mean, yeah, he would obviously be the head of everything, but there's going to need to be somebody there managing that team and really running that production.
yeah.
I was gonna say Jade, but she's already started her own thing with PlayStation, so that's off the table.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's her name that runs
Who's Amy Hennig
Oh
working
my
with now?
God.
Because I know Amy Hennig's working on a game, but
I don't think she runs the studio though, does she?
no, I don't think so either. But I'm just curious if that'd be someone they'd pick up or something.
Oh my God, what is her name, dude? Hold on, keep talking.
Yeah, I kind of thought that Amy Hennig was under contract with PlayStation for some
No,
reason.
well, she used to be with Naughty Dog, and then she left. But no, she leads Skydance New Media because she's working on a Star Wars game, right? With Skydance right now. That's what was announced.
Yeah,
Most
yeah,
recently.
she's
Is
working on that one.
That's still
So-
in play. I thought that got canceled for some reason.
And oh no, she was on an old Star Wars game that got canceled.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, she just in the last month or last couple months, she's back at it again with Skydance, making a Star Wars game. Yeah, just this April, it's been announced. So,
she was. Oh my God, dude, why can I not remember? she founded. She works at Microsoft, and she was like really involved with Halo from jump. Oh my God, dude. Bonnie Ross.
Bonnie Ross. I just found it
Yes.
as soon as you said it.
I think she'd
Okay.
be good to run Activision.
She's still there, right? Or no?
Yeah, she's still at Microsoft.
Okay.
She's an OG, dude. She's been there for a minute.
Yeah, I mean that'd be killer, and anything's better than Bobby, and for someone to be a veteran and have that experience and know what they're doing. Maybe she could actually get things going on the right path and actually make some good content out of there. But
I'm going to say something silly, and I could be completely wrong, but I think that it's a really good idea to put a woman in charge of Activision Blizzard right now.
Yeah.
With everything that was going on with, and I know that probably sounds like a misogynistic to go, oh, just put a woman in that place because of the sexual orientation of some of the crap that went down with Bobby. But I think that it's a really strategic move to put a qualified woman in place of Activision to take over that thing. Don't put another dude. That's just my thought. Although when you said Amy Hennig, I was like, oh man, dude, I love her. And I know she's going to do great, but I'm like, I could see her really heading up something like Activision.
I mean, I picked Bonnie because she has the qualifications first, right? Like I said, she's been working at Microsoft for decades now. She knows how to run a business, hands down. She founded 343, so she's already, she has experience there with founding a company.
yeah,
So I don't see why not. I think she is basically, how they have the leadership roles at companies where you're you're like an executive VP and you just kind of oversee a full branch or something like that of a company. Yeah. That's kind of what she's doing now, because she's already cut her teeth. She's earned her stripes. So if I put her there, I don't have to worry about, is she gonna know how to do X, Y, and Z? Not at all. And then what you were saying, JJ, I think is icing on the cake, because she is. I mean, realistically, we should all be able to empathize with what's going on with employees at Activision Blizzard. But her having that different perspective and having a similar perspective to the majority of the victims of these acts, I think definitely would help her to spur change much faster than, if you had a male head at the time.
Absolutely. So. Also, if she's hot, that's a plus, right?
I mean, you just took our whole nice, respectful conversation. You balled it up, and you aimed for the backboard and just shot it.
I mean, you guys weren't thinking it.
You framed it too.
Like,
just
what if she had like, big personality and stuff? You know what I mean? Like, you guys are thinking that. Come on.
We were doing so well.
We're almost there. We're almost there. All right.
I bet you boys missed me the last couple weeks. There's probably been no activity in this thing. You know what I mean? No energy.
Woo, JJ's back. All right.
Let the sexual harassment begin.
No. Let's move on.
So that's where you were, huh? For the past 2 weeks, you were over at Activision, huh?
Smoking cigars with Bobby Kotick over there.
Yeah, but we were trying to build up a campaign for free Bobby. You know, like
not on our show.
No. He meant he and Bobby were trying to come up with a campaign. No. Listen. Super Gamer Boys and the views expressed, that whole jargon, okay, with JJ.
Yeah, none of them. And we've had to say that in the past. None of the views expressed by JJ Purdom represent any of the real thoughts behind the Super Gamer Boys and Super Gamer Boys LLC. There's not even an LLC.
And Activision, apparently, because now we have an Activision employee on staff.
Oh, my gosh.
I just consultant.
Okay, yes, of course.
Oh, man. All right, this next news story, my cheekbones hurt from laughing so hard.
Good.
Oh, man. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are breaking a long-standing legendary tradition. This is written by Joshua Duckworth over at Game Rant. The latest Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer has set the community abuzz, with it revealing new Pokemon, new plot elements, the region name of Paldea, and more. Indeed, there's still plenty Game Freak needs to show, but for fans who are eagerly awaiting another trailer, it seems safe to say that it delivered. Interestingly enough, this trailer paid plenty of attention to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's mascot legendaries, Koraidon and Miraidon. These legendaries are unique in a couple ways, but they break from tradition in one major way. Koraidon and Miraidon essentially replace HMs in the upcoming Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, serving as the way that players can climb, fly, go across water, and more. There are certainly some limitations players haven't seen yet, as it was revealed that players will get Koraidon and Miraidon early on for this purpose. This is the first time ever that Pokemon fans have gotten a legendary near the start of the game. Indeed, in every title before, they typically serve as part of the big climax related to the enemy team. Players have to beat Team Rocket before they can get to Ho-Oh or Lugia in Gold and Silver. Team Magma and Aqua are after their legendaries in Ruby and Sapphire. Dialga and Palkia are at the top of Mount Coronet in Diamond and Pearl. Players have to beat Elite Four N to get Reshiram and Zekrom in Black and White, and so on. So this is there's a few things announced, obviously, at the Direct that happened this last week, the Pokemon Direct. This is kind of a big one. I've seen people kind of going on about, and some people are like, "Oh, awesome, cool," and other people are very much against it. So Adrian, being probably the one who's played more Pokemon out of all of us, because you've actually played pretty much all of them. What's your feeling on this? Do you feel like it kind of lessens that satisfaction of getting the legendary by just like giving it to you at the beginning of the game, or do you think the way they're utilizing it would be kind of outweighs that and makes it a really cool feature?
So the big thing about getting the legendary early, right, is I think people are thinking about it the wrong way. I think they think that you're gonna get the full legendary at its power, at its, at its peak, and you're gonna be able to just blaze through the whole game. I don't think that could be further from the truth. I think you're going to have to go through the game and different events happen, where you build up trust with this legendary Pokemon, and then it gets stronger, it unlocks more abilities, and then maybe once you beat whatever final boss it is, or once you get to the final boss, then you can use it as a Pokemon in battle. But I think for the majority of the game, it's just going to be your partner / I can't think of any other way to say, but mode of transportation.
Right.
We saw that some of them can glide, they can swim, they can go over land, kind of like a bike. So I think that's going to be the majority of it. Of course, they're probably going to do cool things in cutscenes. You know, like they'll show up and they'll do a sweet move to fend off a attacking monster or something like that. But other than that, I don't see them really letting you use it to its full power. And I think that's what the majority of people are thinking that's going to happen. I am interested to see how they're going to play it out, because I think it's going to end up like I said. But as you were mentioning before, it's something that's never been done before. So it's a nice breath of fresh air. And if this works out, maybe they might do it again. Maybe this is just for this game to make it separate, you know, and stand apart. I'm interested to see them do different stuff. And this, along with a bunch of other changes for Scarlet and Violet, looks like they're starting to do that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, this game's looking really cool. And I don't know.
It's looking sweet.
Yeah, with the I think you're spot on. Like, you're obviously not going to get a full powered, like, high level, like, legendary character at the beginning. Like, if you get at the beginning of the game, it might only be like a level 10, you know, level even less. Like, I don't know. It could be like just a little guy, and you actually have to like obviously they're not just going to give you all the HMs at the beginning. Like, oh, you can fly, you can drive. Like, they're going to parse them out,
or they can give it to you, and
it
it learns, like, it gets experience at like 1/10.
Right.
As fast as a regular Pokemon or something like that.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I think it'll be balanced. It's not like they're just gonna break the game with it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I wish people just. I wish people
I'm excited about
chill out. I wish people just chill out about video games sometimes. Like, the fact that, like, people are like pissed off about it. It's like, calm down. It's a
dude.
Pokemon game.
Every
like,
Pokemon.
Calm down.
Every Pokemon. Somebody is ready to be enraged because it's not exactly what they. It's not red. It's not going to ever be red and blue again. It's not gonna be gold and silver ever again. You gotta let it go.
If you want those games, go play those games.
They're
again,
right there. You can buy a Game Boy for like $50-$60, and you can buy a copy of Red or Blue for like $40-$45, and have at it, dude. Those games and that way and that format of playing Pokemon is gone.
Yeah.
It's what we have now, and you can get on the train or you can stay at this stop. But nothing you could do about it right now. Okay? I, for one, I dig the new idea and the new play style of how they want us to play it. And at the same time, I was actually waiting for what you're playing, but I've been playing a little bit of Ruby, just because I had an itch for some old school Pokemon action.
Ruby,
and you know
so
what?
Good.
Both of them scratch the itch just as good. Okay, so it's part of being able to adapt to change.
I honestly think Ruby, Sapphire might be my favorite ones. Like, those ones are so freaking good.
Dude, apparently, sidebar, somebody in my house, must have been my brother, had a copy of Emerald. I remember we were saying before how I was saying I've never played the third versions of games like that. Like Pokemon, you know, you always get red and blue, you don't get yellow.
Right.
So we found an Emerald box in our garage with the manual and everything in it, but no cart. And it's nowhere to be found. I'm thinking, of course, somebody must have stole it years ago, you know.
That's weird.
But yeah. I was stunned to find that.
So you guys had those kind of friends too, who'd come over and like all of a sudden your video game would be missing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was a while after it had come out, and my brother beat it, and you know, he didn't really care about it or wasn't checking for it anymore. So whatever kid came over, if it was a family member or a friend of ours, they just probably swiped it.
They
didn't even
up.
notice until years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Garrett, I'm kind of thinking I feel like you're gonna move on without asking me like what I think of the Pokemon games.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna ask you. I know you don't care a thing about Pokemon.
Yeah, I feel like you were just gonna skip right over me. Like, that kind of hurts a little bit. You know what?
JJ.
Now
JJ was there when Pokemon came out.
I refuse to answer.
Give him some credit.
I refuse to answer now.
All right.
See,
I was there with Bobby at Activision, and we were coming up with it at Activision.
He could have gave you the scoop on the partner program between Activision and Nintendo about the secret Pokemon project that they're coming out with. And now look what you did. You ruined it.
Not gonna happen now.
Thanks, Garrett.
I'm sorry. You know what? I assumed. You know what to say about assuming.
Yep.
Do you have anything to add, JJ?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah. That's.
No, I don't play that shit. No.
All right. This last news story comes to us from Casey David Muir Taylor over at IGN. They write, 6 years after its announcement, Beyond Good and Evil 2 hires its lead writer. That's right. It's been several years since Beyond Good and Evil 2 was officially announced. After a lack of news for quite some time, there's finally a new development for the long-awaited game. They've hired their lead writer. In a tweet yesterday, Sarah Arellano announced that she was joining as the game's lead writer. Arellano previously worked as narrative designer for Blizzard on World of Warcraft and at Volition, the studio responsible for Saints Row. Beyond Good and Evil 2 was officially announced in 2017 at E3, and the game serves as a prequel to the original game with promises of being able to explore alone or with a friend in its massive and ambitious world. Beyond that announcement, there's not been a lot of meaningful news since. We've gotten a look at some cool concept art and another look at the game at E3 in 2018. That's the last time we've seen it, and we saw the game gave us a glimpse at Jade from the first game, seemingly as a villain. Ubisoft initially planned for a beta of the game to be available at the end of 2019. Yeah, we're right. But that never came to fruition. Beyond Good and Evil 2 also lost its director in 2020, leaving the game's status even more up in the air. Since then, the game got a mention in Ubisoft's earnings report, confirming it is still around in some capacity. And then earlier this year, a report came out saying that the game was still in pre-production. So the news of the game getting its lead writer, however, is a good step forward. So I just thought this was absolutely bizarre. Like, this is a game I completely forgot about, and if anyone had brought it up, I would have been like, oh, it's dead. Like, they just canceled it and didn't say anything. But the fact that they're actively hiring for this and just hired their lead writer after 6 years, it's already in pre-development for 6 years, and they're just now thinking, oh, maybe we should get someone to write a story, you know?
Could some of that be due to the fact that the COVID, with the pandemic and
No.
Dude, this is they announced
any credit to that, huh?
No, they announced this game existed in 2017, which means hypothetically pre-production started at least a couple months before that, because they had a whole tech demo they showed off. Remember, that was the demo where they showed where
Right.
you could fly up into space and go anywhere in this world, all this stuff. And so it had been in some sort of pre-development even before 2017 when they announced it. So there's no way COVID's involved in this one. Like 2017, they had a trailer. 2018, they had a trailer. 2019, there was supposed to be a beta that you could literally play the game. Here we are, 2022, and they're just now hiring a lead writer. And as far as I know, they still don't have a director. They lost their director, and I don't know if it's
They never had a director. They never had a director.
It's all just
They
fake made up
never
people. It's all
had a director. There was no staff for this game. They outsourced that alpha tech demo, whatever it is. They outsourced that preview trailer when they first announcement. This game never had a crew. That's the only thing that makes sense. The only reason why would we not have anything? No concept art, no developer updates from anything. Nobody on Twitter is talking about how they're working on Beyond Good and Evil. Nothing in 6 years. This game never started development.
So you think
It
this
was
game just doesn't
honestly-
exist at all?
I don't. I think it was just put up there for the shareholders to be like, oh, Beyond Good and Evil. Let me go ahead and put a few more stocks in there,
Now,
thinking it's coming, and now they got duped.
do you think this game will ever come out?
Yeah, for PS6.
Now, is this another Cyberpunk situation where it comes out on PS5 and PS6? It does not run on PS5 and it barely runs on PS6. Like it's like another, yeah.
I mean,
it's like Cyberpunk where it's cross-gen and it's like shouldn't be.
I don't know if Ubisoft is necessarily one for the conditions like how CD Projekt Red was. I don't know.
Ubisoft
Are they
has a lot more
notorious for
money, I
crunch?
feel like. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're bad for crunch, but I just feel like Ubisoft definitely has more cash, so they're probably not going to be quite
I don't
as.
know, because what's their name is getting ready to start taking over again. They're getting ready to go under a hostile takeover. Did you hear about that?
Oh, with Vivendi, right? I mean,
No, Tencent.
Oh,
I think it's Tencent.
because I know like for the last like few years, Vivendi's been trying to get in there, but that's
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
fought
hear
them off,
I didn't
and
hear
then-
about
and then-
Tencent. Oh man,
Yeah, and then Tencent bought like 5% more of the shares recently. Now everybody's looking over there because Tencent specifically said they weren't gonna do this.
Okay.
And then like last week, they're like, oh, Tencent bought 5% more of the shares in Ubisoft. Something might be going on. It's like, you trusted a business to do what they said they were gonna do. Have fun with that.
Yves Guillemot is just over there like sweating, just die like, oh no, what's gonna happen to my company?
It's happening again.
It's happening.
Sacre
like
bleu.
PTSD, flashbacks to Vivendi. No. Oh man, yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. I don't know if this game's ever existed, but I lean even more towards like I don't know if this game will ever come out. Like you're awfully optimistic that it'll come out. It'll just take forever. I wouldn't be surprised if they straight up are just like in another 5 years probably be like, it's not coming out. Like we've canceled it. They probably won't say anything. It'll just disappear one day.
Did they even ever re-release the first one? Like, did it ever get an HD remaster and everything?
Oh, I don't.
To show that, to gauge if anybody was still interested in this game, because it came out it had to be between 2001 and 2003.
It was a 2003 game. On. Let's see. So 2003.
So it's 18 years old.
So it came out. They re-released it in 2011 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So that's the most recent version. Is they up-resed it from PS2 and Xbox to 360 and PlayStation 3. So it did get a little bit of a bump up for 2 generations ago.
I just don't see how you have an almost 20-year-old franchise with one game, and then decide that you're gonna pour all this money. Do you remember how good that tech demo that they put out looked?
Oh yeah,
like they were putting some serious muscle behind it, right?
I'm on the wiki right now, or on Wikipedia, and it says apparently in July 2020, Netflix announced a live-action animated film based off of it.
That could drum a little bit of hype up. But of course, it's 2 years later. I'm sure it's been canceled.
Yeah, I totally forgot that happened. But now that I'm reading,
especially with Netflix losing all the money and all the subscribers and everything that it has going on right now, I'm sure Netflix that is on the furthest of back burners.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I feel like before they do anything, like they need to see if there's even any interest. Like, obviously the name drums up interest in itself. Like people hear Beyond Good and
from
Evil,
old people like you and me.
Yeah, but then it's like I don't know. But even then, like even us, it's just like I don't know. We haven't played it in so long, and it's like I don't know.
It could be another Republic Commando situation. What if we play it again and it sucks?
Republic Commando.
Do you remember it differently though? Do you remember it being great when you played it as a kid?
Beyond Good and Evil, yeah.
No, Republic Commando.
Yeah, I remember it being freaking sick when I first played it the first time. Yeah, so, and then we played it recently, and it's not good.
Not the same.
Not good.
It's
go
not
listen,
the same.
Go listen to the Patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys. You can hear our book club about it. It was a fun episode. Yeah, I don't know. I'm under the impression that this game will just never come out. Like, I think they just quietly cancel it eventually. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate, especially like heck, they just hired a lead writer, but I wouldn't be surprised if a couple years it just disappears off of their, any form of it, like
the radar, just quietly.
It just disappears because it's as much money as they put into it. Like, I don't know. I know last week.
To be quite honest, I don't know if I would want current day Ubisoft working on it anyway, because they're just gonna make it into an Assassin's Creed or a Far Cry clone, and I don't want them to do that.
I don't want that. Now. I don't want to go to a bunch of checkpoints and towers and unlock parts of the map. Like, let me actually just explore a world and have a good story there. Like, give me something good. Like, don't like me. I don't want all these like fetch quests essentially. But I don't know. JD, do you have any experience with the original one or anything like that?
No, I never played Beyond Good and Evil.
Okay.
But if it's anything like any of those Assassin's Creed games, I wouldn't be a fan.
Yeah. Well, it's not. That's the thing. Like the original one, very like Ubisoft.
It was back when Ubisoft tried.
Yeah, Ubisoft didn't always make the same game. They used to actually make games that were all very different and very fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Ubisoft used to rule actually.
I tried to play. What was it? Far Cry 6 recently.
Sorry about that.
Not a fan at all.
Not a good game.
And I thought that it was going to be fantastic. Giancarlo Esposito is an incredible actor, so I thought like him being on that, like it was going to be fantastic. But like I think they've proven to me yet again that like I get burned every time I play a Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
Like
It used to be.
not.
Yeah, it used to be you saw the Ubisoft logo and you're like, oh, this is going to be a banger. This is going to be a good game. Like my dad would like strictly buy games because he saw the Ubisoft logo on the box. And now it's like you see the Ubisoft logo and it's like,
Yeah, there's hesitance.
I'm probably going to pass. I mean, unless you really got a hankering for that specific type of game, because whether you buy Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, heck, even Ghost Recon now, like all the games are the same. So if you want that type of game, you could play any of those games and get the same experience. Like if,
It's the same shooter or the same adventure game.
Yeah. So if that's the itch that you need scratched there, then go ahead and buy it. But if not, they're all going to be the same. So whether you play
So
Assassin's Creed or Ghost Recon, you're getting the same game. It's crazy.
So they constantly keep using the same engine, and then just skinning it,
Putting the skin on it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because again, they used to be quality. It was like that Nintendo seal of quality on their cartridges. Like you saw Ubisoft, you're like, okay, this is probably gonna be a good game. Like
it's going down.
this is gonna be great. And then
especially in the PS2 era, like the PS2, Xbox, GameCube.
100%.
Oh baby,
100%. I mean, that was freaking Splinter Cell. So good. I love Splinter Cell, and they just won't make it. They won't make it. Please bring back Splinter Cell.
What was going on? Yeah, Prince of Persia. Ooh, Beyond Good and Evil.
Rayman, dude.
They were killing at that time, man.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, that is it for the news this week. Now, it is time for our ads. All right, this is the part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, support us over there, starting at just $1 a month. You can get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, such as Super Gamer Book Club, and get those. Book Club, you get 2 months early before anyone else. No ads, fantastic. Go check that out. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, this month's episode is super fun one. Star Wars Republic Commando. Adrian and I just kind of we dissect that one hard. It was a fun episode, so please support us. Go check that one out. You can also get other perks like show notes early. You're gonna know what we're gonna talk about. You can leave your own questions, comments, concerns right on our show notes doc, so we can see all your thoughts. We can share your thoughts. So you have answers to the questions or your own thoughts on some of the news stories we're gonna talk about. You have access to all that at the $5 level and above. $10, you're a Super Gamer sponsor. You get shout outs on the show. And then our top dog tier, you could be the Super Gamer producer, where you get to pitch us a segment that you think would be awesome for the show. You know what? We'll give it the old college try, and we have a lot of fun with it. So support us over there. Help us make cool things. You can also support us by heading over to twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account. And it's called Prime Gaming Sub that you get each and every month. Cost you $0. We get $5. It's free. You can pass it on to us. So if you're at the bottom of your page right now, click that subscribe button, check the little box that says use Prime Gaming Sub, and help support the channel that way. Helps us, and you get some cool emotes to use here on Twitch. Our last ad here, this is a new one. You know, we're slowly building out all the ways that you can support us. We want to give you as many ways to support us as possible. That way we can keep making cool things. So our new one, we mentioned it last week, Dubby Energy. You can go over to dubby.gg, support us over there by using our code SGB, it's easy to remember, and buy some Dubby Energy. Dubby Energy has been fantastic. Adrian, now you got the sample pack. How have you been liking those flavors?
So far, so good.
Okay.
Right now, my next one up is the Dragonade.
Ooh, okay. All right. That's a good one. But
the ones that I've had so far, I've actually really liked. And I really dig the shaker cups. I got to figure out when my anime one is supposed to come in, though.
I'm drinking some Dubby Energy right now. It's very good. Mm-hmm. Some Dub Sludge is the flavor I'm drinking.
And I got to say, it's all because of Dubby Energy that I was able to do my huge trip halfway across the world, thanks to Dubby Energy and that Galaxy Grenade flavor. That stuff is bomb, dude. Like I find that like I'm gonna start cooking with that stuff. So that's the thing is it doesn't.
I don't know
like,
if I would advise that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if W signs off on that, but
No, the good thing about it though is with this energy drink is the fact that like I used to love like Monsters and Rockstars and stuff, but I'd always crash, and so there's not that aspect to this. W is awesome, and it's a natural thing. It doesn't have sugar in it, and it's not going to make you fat. In fact, you'll lose all kinds of weight, and you'll look beautiful if you drink it.
Oh, okay.
That's
Wow,
kinda,
wow.
No?
I mean,
in fact,
you
it'll make
you had one thing right. They have 0 sugar, no maltodextrin filler, no artificial colors or dyes, secret formulas, hidden ingredients, nothing. It's gluten free. All of our flavors are unique and custom made by them, and it's made in the USA.
And it'll make you great in bed. It makes you
it'll make you
like really plump
absolutely
and like makes you
plump.
You know,
Is that what you want?
He said what he said. All right.
yeah, you just take it how you want to take it. You know,
Okay.
which they'll be taking it if they drink W energy drink.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Just saying. Google it.
There you have it. So head over to w.gg. Remember to use our code SGB. You get 10% off, and it helps support the channel. We get some kickback from that. So go check it out. They got a sampler pack. They had one. It might have disappeared. But either way, Dub Sledge, Galaxy Grenade, those I haven't had a bad flavor yet. So check one out. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it. All right. That's it for our ads this week. Now, let's get back to the show. Alrighty. Now it is time for me to ask you, JJ.
I want to hide behind my microphone. Before you do it, I know you're going to say like, JJ, what have you been playing? Okay, listen. I've been on the road, boys. I haven't had a gaming system in front of me. Don't do this to me. Don't. You're muting your microphones, and you seem like you guys are checked out. But, guys, I did play video games on my phone. I played mobile games, and I know it's blasphemous to say that on this show, but...
Not here. Apple Arcade is where it's at, buddy.
See, I don't have an iPhone, so...
well,
okay.
shunned.
Look, okay. He's like, I've written you off, JJ. Like, yeah. So, Subway Surfers... If you were on a plane,
you talked about this like 3 weeks ago, dude. Is this the new Little Nightmares? Are you kidding me right now? Are you gonna pull out Subway Surfers every week now?
Dude, it kept me sane because I didn't have any games to play. So I was able to play Subway Surfers on the plane, and I played it over there. And dude, it kept me sane. There's something about just running and using your little finger to like jump over things. It's just great. I love it. Similar to Temple Run. I don't know if you guys have ever played Temple Run, but that's another runner that's actually a lot of fun.
Temple Run, one of the first runner games ever. One of the first games on a phone ever. No,
never heard of it. Never heard of it. Oh,
I hate you both right now.
Oh, JJ.
Just so you know.
Subway Surfers.
Get out.
Anyway, I've been playing a real game.
Thank you.
I mentioned it earlier. I have been playing a good little bit of Pokemon Ruby, and man, it deserves every bit of praise and being lauded as a classic as it gets. Everything about that game is like it's the classic Pokemon formula perfected.
Love it.
It's had, the first gen and the second gen to kind of work out the bugs and try to fix and tighten up what needed to be tightened up, trim the fat, and at the same time it adds in a whole bunch of different new features and a graphical overhaul and a music overhaul because you have the power of the Game Boy Advance now. And it's just, man, you can, granted you can do this with all of them, but you can really spend hundreds of hours just playing this game and just trying to fill the decks. It's wild.
Pokemon Ruby is, I said it earlier, I think it's my favorite Pokemon game because you're right. It just perfected all the cool features in the previous games and added new ones that were awesome. And it's something that we're never going to get ever again because there's so many Pokemon. But I loved how they're
all there.
Yeah, 300 some Pokemon, almost 400 Pokemon because it had Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 all smashed into this game. So yeah, it was a massive Pokedex. So not only are you getting this new experience, but it feeds that nostalgia. Oh man, I love those games so much. Like I wish I had I have ways to play it, but I wish I had my Game Boy Advance SP, my silver one, flips open.
You find it and I'll send this to you, good buddy.
Oh,
I'll send you this Sapphire.
Dude, right now. I'm buying an SP right now. I'll get on it. I'll do whatever it takes. Oh man, that'd be so fun. That was actually. So yeah, my experience with Ruby was so I had a Game Boy Color, like the cool atomic purple, like see-through, the clear one, and my brother had the Game Boy Advance, and it was been years, and I was like, I want to upgrade, like I want to get a Game Boy Advance. I always had to borrow my brother's. Finally, I saved up enough money and got the SP and Ruby at the same time. Like I got them both together, and so like it's a synonymous in my head with that. Like I had tons of other Game Boy Advance games, but man, that's like I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in that game.
Game Boy Advance SP.
Loved it.
What a
the perfect.
Do you remember the first time you played SP after dark? Oh. Like and you turned it on and you could see it, like how crazy that was.
So I bought it.
I mean, I know there have been backlit systems before, yada yada. They all failed. Okay, they're footnotes in history compared to this.
Yeah. I mean, so I bought, when I bought it, it was late at night. It was at a Toys R Us. We had gone to numerous other stores that we called and they said, oh yeah, we think we have one in stock. We show up and they wouldn't have it in stock. Finally, we called a Toys R Us. That was like 45 minutes away or something. And went out there. They actually had it, picked it up. So it was nighttime. So I literally like played it on the way home in this dark car with a backlit screen. Like my mind was blown. Like this is so crazy. Like I don't have to use, because with my Game Boy Color, I had the little worm light. There was a little plug in the side, so it plugged in the side.
You are hitting a nostalgia bone in me right now.
It was a little like curly Q, like little like rubbery kind of plastic.
I went through like 2 or 3 of those
with a little light bulb that shined down on the screen, so I could play my Game Boy Color in the dark. Like that's how I was playing. Was like the little, and it drained the battery so quickly because the Game Boy is running off double A's.
It was worth it.
And this light is killing those double A's just so I could play at night. So playing the SP, and I'm like. It's so bright and crisp, and like it might as well have been like a freaking OLED display. Like it looks so gorgeous. Like at that point, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Like and
it was colors. Rechargeable. No more double A's.
No more double A's.
I don't have to keep going, Mom. I know it's only been 6 hours. I need more double A's.
More batteries.
That double A thing is still even now killing me for things like batteries just getting worked out on controllers and stuff like that. Like my son goes through so many batteries, and I'm like, man, Xbox, why couldn't you just have a great charging port that like keeps the thing going without battery support?
There's a battery pack you could buy for it.
They have aftermarket ones, but
I'll have to do something about that because it's killing me for the batteries all the time, like just constantly.
Yeah, they make a rechargeable battery for it.
The first time that I saw a backlit screen, it was like, to me, it was like, what witchcraft is this?
Exactly. Like, that's why I was like, how?
The only thing I had ever experienced was the old Game Boy and playing like friends' old Game Boys. And yeah, if you're in a room and it starts to get dark, you can't see anything. No. Or you're in a car and you're driving to another room, can't see a thing. So with the advent of having a backlit screen, it was like, whoa. And now you look back on it and it's like archaic, even with the lights on there and stuff like that. So.
Well, yeah, now we got HD, pretty much high def screens on your consoles nowadays. I never, ever in my life thought I was gonna be the guy being like, man, these kids don't know how good they have it. But
yeah, man.
I don't know if you have any young folks that you associate with, that play games regularly. Try to put a Game Boy in there, a non-backlit Game Boy in their hands and tell them to play it. They won't be able to. They will not be able to play it.
No. My son definitely wouldn't. He would not like it because there wouldn't be the chat, because that's how people socialize now. They're used to socializing through, hey, I jump on and my squad needs me. I gotta get
there's a lot of, trust me, there's a lot of chatting when I play Game Boy. A lot of just like yelling at it, like, why not? What are you doing?
The chatting, quick. The chatting was when you all met up either on the playground or at a friend's house.
Plug in those link cables.
Yep. Pass out the link cables, hook it up to 4-player. So
There was a video.
You're off to the races.
There was a video recently that was posted on TikTok that was two little boys that had been playing for 3 years. I never met in person, but they got to meet in person. They were playing for 3 years as buddies on Roblox and like Minecraft. And so they got to like see each other in person for the first time. And like the genuine like love that one of the little boys showed the other one, like running up and hugging him, was like, oh, like the moms did so good, like getting them to meet, like traveled several hours or whatever it was. And it was like, man, that's beautiful. But it's like one of the kids, and this is just my interpretation of the video, one of the kids runs and like hugs him and is like screaming like, wow, he's so excited. And he's like mind blown that he gets to meet his buddy that he's played with every day for like 3 years. And the other kid, it was like he didn't know how to react to somebody hugging him and being excited to see him. He just was kind of like
surreal.
Frozen. Yeah.
There's videos of adults that have done like that, where they play together in groups for years and years. And they finally decide, you know what? We've been kicking it and we've been, becoming friends and play it all the time. And it's like a groups, I'm talking of like 5-6 dudes. And they all decide to meet at one spot. And it's crazy to see them all meet for the first time. Video games is one of the few mediums that you can do that with.
Right.
It's awesome.
Super cool. Man, video games are cool.
They are.
I love video games. Well, I have been playing, the only game I've been playing is Amori, which is our book club game for the end of this month. And let me tell you, this game is, it's something else. It's like Undertale. Undertale gets real. Like there's some serious like story beats in there. But this one, like when it first fires up, it literally fires up and is like, hey, like there's like mature topics being discussed in this, and like topics of like suicide and self-harm and like depression and stuff like that. I'm like, there's literally a warning. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I had no idea. Like I didn't know anything about this game. But man, so far it's like a very it starts off very lighthearted and happy and stuff like that. But I'm already getting to a part where I like, oh, it's getting dark. Like there's some like hints at like some weird stuff could start happening. I don't know. Very interesting. I recommend you guys go play it so you can listen to our book club about it. But very Undertale-like. I was telling Adrian beforehand, like the art style feels very similar. The music, the soundtrack, all that stuff. It's I'm curious to play more of it. I think it could turn out to be a really cool indie kind of RPG. I haven't played a ton, but I was surprised by it. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it. I went into it totally blind. So when it fired up and it's like, with that warning and then even some of the gameplay and like story stuff they're revealing at the beginning, I'm like, holy cow, this is going to be an experience. Like this is not just your a little lighthearted, silly indie game. This is like, this is going to get real. Like this is going to be intense. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about it at the end of the month with Ray for sure.
It's
she's
good
a
enough
super
to
fan.
hear. Yeah, she is an ultra fan, so she's gonna be able to be like, hey, did you ever notice when in part X, Y, and Z that the character was actually doing this, but they were outside of their body the whole time or something like that. I have no idea what goes on in the story, but she's gonna be able to do that no problem.
Yeah.
I was just saying I'm glad to hear that you are starting off on a good foot with this one. Because I asked you about Republic Commando and I got kind of the opposite. So now that makes me look forward to it even more. Yeah. That now that you're into it and you're digging it. So
this one is much better, especially if you like Undertale is one of the greatest indie games ever created. That game was fantastic, and this one's already giving me those vibes and that feeling. So I'm like, all right, if it's even like half as good as Undertale, it's gonna be still great. So I'm all about it. So yeah, excited to play through it. I hope I can beat it. It's like a 20-hour game, so it is bigger like than Undertale. Undertale is like you can beat in a few hours. Like this is like a 20
an hour a day,
RPG,
good buddy.
But
you'll be done before the end.
Yeah, gotta get through it. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening this week. We appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to listen to us on your podcast services. Download the episode, watch at youtube.com/supergamerboys, support us at patreon.com/supergamerboys. we appreciate all of you folks as well. We know you don't have to give us our money, but you do because you love what we do and want to help us be better, make better things. And thank you for that. Thank you for showing your support in that way. It's more because it's more than just the financial support. It really is knowing that there's people who love our stuff and love us and want to take care of us and want to, push us to be more successful and more, give us the ability to be more creative. And so we hope that we're making you proud, making you happy with the content we're making, keeping you entertained. And if you want to help us out, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Like I said, just $1 a month, you can help us out and get some, get stuff early and ad-free. You can also support us over at sgbstore.com. You can get some cool merch like t-shirts, mugs, stickers, phone cases. We got some fun stuff over there. Check it out. Remember, w.gg. You can get some W energy. Use our code SGB at checkout. You get 10% off, and we get a kickback from all the sales from there. So, buy the big king. There's one called the King Pack, and it's 3 tubs. So that's like the biggest thing they sell. Go buy that. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be awesome.
We can get a pizza off of that one, baby.
Get a freaking pizza. But remember to rate and review us where you can. YouTube, give us that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button so you know when new episodes go live. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate once again for allowing us to use their music on our show. Please go give them some love and support. Find them on Spotify and Apple Music. Links to Spotify down below. Remember, you can buy their albums on Bandcamp as well. Wherever you can find them, support them, please. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
JJ, where can they find you?
You can find me over at Twitter at JJ Purdom. You can also find me each and every week at the Super Gamer Boys produced Suplex City Wrestling Podcast. You can find me on Twitter there at Suplex City Pod. Scott Falder and I talk pro wrestling each and every week, and we thank the Super Gamer Boys for producing us and making us sound not as dumb as we truly are.
Yeah, it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it, All right. Yeah, go check out Suplex City Pod. That's a fun one to edit, and I'm excited to see the return of JJ this week. It's been a one-man band for a couple weeks since JJ. So we thought he was abandoning us for his podcast. I know we made fun of you a lot on this show, like, oh, he's got his own podcast doing all those things. No, he forsook his own podcast. So he does
his real pride and joy.
Yeah. No, I helped create this one too, and I'm in love with both of them. It sucked being away, but I am back.
Hey, JJ. It's me, Triple H.
And I'll be gone in a heartbeat.
We're interested in picking up your Suplex City cast.
Yep, I'm out. Yeah, whatever you want, H.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Look, I love you both, but I sell you down the river so quick for money. Like so quick.
At least tell him that I'm part of the deal though. Like I'm a producer, so like, if you wanna buy our show, you also have to hire on Garrett to produce it still. So
that's actually a great point. Yeah, because I couldn't do it myself, so.
And then
Adrian,
you know what? You can have
Adrian's
Super
great
Gamer
at
I just go
He
back
is.
to regular life. I was like, okay. I get my Monday nights back.
No,
never do
you
that.
can be assistant producer.
Adrian's the idea guy. Adrian's the one who goes like, hey, what do you think about this? I'm like, makes me think harder so the shows actually come out better because Adrian's the smart one. So
maybe we can have someone competent write the show like Adrian instead of JJ just winging it each week.
I can write Scott's lines.
It'd probably be amazing if you did. So we'll get him to do a little writer's credit and stuff like that. We could do that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
So
all right,
I guess that's pretty much
all,
right?
That's all I got for the show this week.
All right, for our fearless Colonel Dad at Garrett Morlang or G Morlang or is it at
Close
G
enough.
Morlang?
It's at G Morlang, yeah.
You misspell your last name. I don't know if you knew that or not, but you can always come back here each and every week and deal with us. But yeah, for Garrett Morlang, for Adrian Homeboy Holmes, for myself, JJ, Juicy JJ. Yeah, let's just do that. Juicy JJ Purdom. We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Let's go handle this lawsuit. Let's go handle this lawsuit.
We kind of got to. But like, no joke, is that Bonnie chick hot? I mean, you guys like tell me?
Get us out of here.